This is the Raising the Bar podcast with Stefan Hines, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they've learned on their road to success, and get exclusive access on how to implement their success into your life and business. The Raising the Bar podcast is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Stefan Hines.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from 5 figures to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7 figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash, and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, today's guest is Shelby. Shelby, would you please just introduce yourself real quick, say a few words, what you're doing, so people get an idea who we are talking about.
Sure. I'm Shelby Long Hammond. I am a business communications strategist. I work in brand strategy, marketing, and business communication. I'm president of the Strategic Advisor Board and CEO of the Business Dynamics.
Wonderful. Thank you. And you've been doing that for a while, I guess.
I have. I've had my own business. My previous life business was a side hustle for quite some time until I made it my full-time gig. I was a business communication college professor for 17 years, and then my side hustle is now my full-time gig. And so I've been working in this space for probably about 5 years. I've been with the Strategic Advisor Board for 3 total. So.
Okay. I thought it was much longer. Okay.
3.5. There's been a lot going on, so.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, let's talk AI. So,
yes.
Let's start with the positive, because you said you had some reservations, so we'll get to that. What's your favorite experience with AI?
Well, to preface the conversation, my background is in human communication. I've been a college debate coach for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've taught communication and debate all over the world. Mm-hmm. I love public speaking, which is a bizarre thing for me because it's bizarre to just love to be in front of an audience, but I do love that. I like the authenticity of communication. I like all of those things. Mm-hmm. I also like writing. I like unique thoughts and ideas. So the advent of AI, particularly in this past year, it's been a challenge for me to kind of figure out how to navigate things. The things I do really like about it is that you can create some great consistency. I have a whole team, and so it's nice to be able to create that consistency with my team. It's also fast and efficient, and it's good to have those things all tied together, particularly if you are a small business owner. Any help you can get in that space is good for marketing and writing letters and contracts and whatnot. So those are things I do enjoy about it. I think there's a lot of positivity as far as the consistency is concerned. So.
Okay. Can you say more about consistency in what way? Like, where does it show?
Yeah, I like that you can create a voice in ChatGPT. At least that's the only platform I've worked with, that you can create kind of a brand voice. Mm-hmm. You have to tell it what it is, or you can not even necessarily with your brand, but you just have to be very direct about what style you want it written in, or what marketing message you want, and just be very direct about that. And what I have not explored, but I'm excited to explore, is the paid version of AI, where you can really get it honed in on your brand voice. So
Yes.
everything that you produce has your brand voice. Consistency is so key to a brand. A brand creates feeling. And if you can create that feeling throughout all of your communication, that's something that all small businesses should want to strive for. So
See, I learned
that,
something already. I love
yeah.
that because I've been using AI now for several years, but I haven't thought about that part. Goes to
Yeah.
show, the way we interact with the world is, it's given by our knowledge and context and all that. Branding is not in my context. It's not what I'm thinking about every day, even though I should probably, but I understand, for you it is. So
Yeah.
I really like that. Good, great point. Consistency.
I do
Okay.
think though that I'll wait for you to ask me to about
No, no,
the
no, keep
downfalls of
going.
it.
Look, I
Well,
said this is a conversation. This is not an interview. So
yeah, I
keep
think the
going.
challenge in it though is that because you can tell when something's been written by AI. You can tell when it doesn't have, the voice of you could just tell. And I think nowadays so many people are using it that you can just kind of tell what it is. But man, it saves a lot of time.
Hmm.
And it's really good to have that. I
Yeah.
do like how you can like clean up, like when I write something and I can put it into ChatGPT and I can have, or whatever platform you're using, and have it kind of clean the language up. I really like that piece. But
Hmm.
I do think you lose, even though your voice can be consistent, you might lose some of the authenticity and uniqueness of the voice. So, but
Yeah.
that's the other side of it too. So
Well, and
quality
to
versus
that point,
quantity. Yeah.
that is first of all, to some degree, I agree with you, and then I disagree. It very much depends on how you use it.
Right.
And a lot can be done so that it doesn't sound like this generic stuff. Yes, if I use without any context, just say, write me an article about X, um, and you just take that article as it is and post that somewhere, yes, very simple. You
Yeah.
will probably be able to tell that without a doubt.
I think a
But
lot of people are doing it. So
yeah, well, but then again, you can, as you said, you hone in, you tune ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you use, and you get your own voice. It will be much more difficult. And with the next version that's coming out with ChatGPT, there's a lot of rumors going around, but it's going to be a lot more powerful. It will be way more difficult. Even today, already, there's some people who are very good at what they're doing. You have a hard time identifying stuff. And we're just talking about the written stuff, which is like a small percentage. Yes, many people
right.
use it for that, but many people do a lot of other things. Like writing
Yeah.
is the smallest part of what I'm doing with AI. Yeah.
Well, and then I listened to an interesting podcast the other day about voiceovers and
Hmm.
replicating your voice, and that to me is and maybe I'm a dinosaur because I really like the spoken word and I like the uniqueness and
Hmm.
authenticity of a really good speaker. But it's kind of scary to think of how that can be replicated, and it's
Yeah.
dangerous too because you can replicate a lot of things and pose as other people. I think there's some very scary parts about it, just with the crime and all that. So
Hmm.
there's some really scary parts about it too. So
Yeah. Which again is nothing new, that has been around for many years in different technologies. It's just way easier now and it's
yeah,
more accessible for everybody. Absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So give me a little bit more about your reservations. You said you have reservations. You said a few things now. Um, I'm interested to hear, like, what are where are your reservations, but also what are you looking forward to?
I'll talk more about some reservations as an educator and as a person that teaches other people how to do things and how to communicate. and particularly with the generation that's now going through higher education and getting into workplace. The challenge, and I think this has happened since the advent of just the internet, is that you can have your questions answered in typing it in and pressing enter. And I really think that it is limiting the critical thinking, and I think it's something you can have your problem solved very easily if you type something into Google or your search engine or ChatGPT. You don't have to think about where to find that answer. So I do think it limits critical thinking. As a small business owner, it's different than being an educator. I'm no longer in academia, but I wonder how people are dealing with students that are not writing their papers and that are, you find yourself grading ChatGPT. It's papers, and I think it will have a very big impact on education. So it'll be really interesting to see what it'll do. I have young kids that are now they're now in middle school, and I have fourth graders, so they're young. So it's going to be even more challenging when they get into high school and they know how to use these things. And it'll be interesting to see how we interact with it. That doesn't mean it couldn't be beneficial or it's not going to have beneficial things that will happen, but I think it will. I think it will significantly alter the way that we think about things. And as industrial revolutions do, right? That happens. It alters the way we perform and produce, and it alters the way that we think, and it can expand our thoughts, but it also can limit our thinking. So I think there's
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus, what I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
Well, it can, but then again, it's still, the way I see it, it's still everybody's own responsibility.
100%.
Because yes, it can have an impact on critical thinking, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no critical thinking, because what you just said, yes, I get a response. It doesn't mean that it's the right response. When I put, let's say I'm looking for something on Google or on YouTube and I get a YouTube video, that's that person giving me some tip, and that may be the right thing. If I need to find out how to install the sprinkler system, it's great to have YouTube and to find that response. But it could also be that the video I'm getting there of that person explaining that sprinkler system is completely full of it and gives me a way too difficult explanation and maybe even wrong instructions.
Which has that's exactly what the problem with, I'm not trying to, Facebook and social media.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
Algorithms that feed you things. It creates a world of confirmation bias, which means that we're fed everything that confirms what we believe, and we're not given the other side of the argument or what other people are saying, so we can think to ourselves about how to solve that.
Yeah.
Benefits and disadvantages to that.
Yeah.
But overall, but the thing that I don't think that answers is that it doesn't inhibit critical thinking, but I think it provides an easy way out of it. And to our youth, to people that are not aged like myself, and I'm not the perfect thinker, but I do look at all things and I do consider all different arguments, but not everybody in this world does. And I think it's a real challenge to when those tools are so readily available and in the hands of, my 11-year-old has a phone, and, so when they have the so readily available, it's easy to fall into that. So
it is,
awesome.
Yeah. It's an interesting point that you're making. And I kind of want to disagree with it, because it's nothing new. Before the internet, people were just listening to either CNN or Fox News as well. and they had their here in the US.
True.
And people have their favorite channel. And then when I say something else, and I have my different source because being German, I read a lot of the German news.
Huh?
I take a lot of my information from somewhere completely different, and all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, I didn't know." You know, I sometimes hear more about things happening here in outside sources than from inside sources.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on how we treat things, and but yeah, I'm agree with you. It's right here. Why should I keep looking somewhere else? Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Well, but that challenge I think is as old as humanity, and it will continue and will be. To your point about the education, a friend of mine is a teacher, and I met with him a few weeks ago, and he was pointing at exactly that. And they have some system where they're going through, and he can check for certain things, and they're working on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's things change so quickly, and have since,
Yeah.
30 years ago when I started college, email was the big thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Right.
that's a big deal.
Well, and back
I
then
didn't
people
have
said,
a phone in my hand, so
and
it's
back then people said, "Oh, people won't know how to write anymore." You
Mhm.
know, so there's always something.
An adjustment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, looking at future, what are you looking forward to with AI? When you look at your whole business and what you know about AI, how can you, how else can you see taking advantage in your business, maybe with your clients, um, and what's in the way of, because some of them may be difficult, I don't know, but like that.
I'm looking forward to exploring more of the capabilities of AI and what it could do. The writing and the ChatGPT and the very, very rudimentary things that I do, like you said, is a very small percentage of what it can do. So I just don't even know the possibilities of it. I
Hmm.
imagine there will be a lot more possibilities with it. It's made, my whole business about course creation and all of that, it's made it a little bit obsolete. But I think what it doesn't teach is the adaptation to an audience and the connection that a business has to its ideal client and those
Hmm.
types of. So I think there's an interesting space there too. And I don't know what to anticipate next. I think in like the future of education, I think the qualities that I think AI and knowing how to use AI is going to be critically important as you move forward in business. But I think the people that are going to emerge in business are going to be the ones that are aware about it and know the capabilities about it, but are able to communicate about it in a way that enhances their business and their relationships with their clients. Because
Hmm.
I think I don't want to lose that. And I think it will make
No.
it to have that. So.
Hmm. Cool.
So I don't
Great.
know what to anticipate. My answer is I don't know. Can you tell me what did your crystal ball say?
Well, so that new version, that is that what we hear, there was this went a little viral few days ago. There was the Japanese CEO, like of the Japanese OpenAI, did a presentation at a conference, and he said it's still coming out this year, and it's going to be 100 times more powerful than the current one. So if you think of an AI that is 100 times more powerful, not only 10 times, but 100, even if it's not 100, but way like magnitudes more powerful than what ChatGPT can do right now. And you've seen the difference between ChatGPT 3.5 and 4.0, all that. Yes, all these, like right now, when you put in, we talked about that earlier, you get those rather generic responses that will most likely be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
where you get a lot more detail and context and specificity, more details, more thought, because obviously AI cannot think, but there will be more thought built into it. That's the one thing. The second thing is automation, where the keyword here being agents, where you basically have a whole team of agents
Mm-hmm.
where you have a whole process, and they do the whole thing from one person to the next person, so to speak, one agent to the next agent, automatically going back and forth until you have the quality that you're looking for, and then you get that delivered as the result. And except it doesn't take a week anymore. It only takes like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Right.
And agent is something that is, many people are working on that kind of stuff these days.
Another industrial revolution where
we're in the middle of it.
And I think I don't know. I like the fulfillment of being in business, and I like the communication about it. And I think that's gonna, I don't know, could very well take away from and discourage people to communicate. It's just interesting. There's ups and downs to it. Lots of
could be.
possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, I see it exactly the opposite. I actually think that with the help of AI, people will do things that before they couldn't do.
Yeah.
And therefore it is, especially for small business owners, it will be an opportunity and a chance where before they wouldn't be able to compete with the big boys, and now they can.
Right, now they can. Yep. So that's why we need to have a conversation about it, so we can discover all the possibilities.
That's right.
Feeding my debate world now.
Good.
Learn new, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, as I said, I wanted to keep it short. This was today's episode. Thank you very much, Shelby. And we'll stay in touch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Happy to talk anytime.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best, and grow, scale, and win.
Thanks for listening to Raising the Bar podcast with Stefan Hines. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest best business advice on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.